Greetings everyone. Today we will discuss about causative agents, mode of transmission and prevention of plague, malaria and filaria. We will discuss as per the syllabus of D Farm first year HECP. An arthropod is an invertebrate animal having an exoskeleton, a segmented body, and paired jointed appendages. Arthropods form the phylum Equiarthropoda, which includes insects, arachnids, myriapods, and crustaceans. Many arthropods, like flies, mosquitoes, etc., can carry infectious agent from one person to another and cause various infectious diseases. This is called arthropod-borne infection. So, plague is an infectious disease caused by Yersinia pestis bacteria, usually found in small mammals and their flies. The disease is transmitted between animals via their fleas and it is a zoonotic bacterium. It can also transmit from animals to humans. Here, what happens? Plague, that is Yersinia pestis, is a bacterium for rodent like rats. So it happened to them. But when plague infection occurs in rodent, healthy rats they escape from the area. As a result, the fleas they bite humans and the infection is spread. So it is actually an animal disease, but it may happen to humans also. That is why it is called zoonotic bacteria. That is the animal bacteria, but sometimes it can infect humans also. Human can be contaminated by bite of infected fleas, through direct contact with infected materials, or by inhalation. Plague can be very severe disease in people, particularly in its septicemic and pneumonic form, with a case fatality ratio of 30 to 100% if left untreated. Although plague has been responsible for widespread pandemics throughout history, including so-called Black Death that caused over 50 million deaths in Europe during the 14th century. Incubation period of plague is generally for 3 to 7 days. So two types of harmful plagues, most important, that is the bubonic plague. What are the symptoms? Patients develop sudden onset of fever, headache, chill, weakness, and most importantly, one or more swollen, tender, and painful lymph nodes. That is called buboes. That is septicemic plague. Patient develop fever, chill, extreme weakness, abdominal pain, shock, and bleeding into the skin and other organ. These are the symptoms of the two different types of plague. Prevention: bubonic plague requires urgent hospital treatment with strong antibiotics like tetracycline, doxycycline, etc. Rodent habitat around home, workplace and recreational area must be controlled. Bush, rock piles, junk, cluttered firewood, and possible rodent food supplies such as pet and wild animal foods should be removed. Home and outbuildings should be made rodent proof. Gloves should be used while handling or skinning potentially infected animals to prevent contact between the skin and the plague bacteria. Local health department should be informed regarding the disposal of dead animals. Rodent repellent can be used. Vaccine is available, but its effectiveness is uncertain. So this is the prevention and control procedure of plague. Plague is a very simple disease if detected and treated with antibiotic. And these following measures, as I told you, that is, keep yourself away from the rodent. That is, if rodent is present outside your home, in that case also you can get plague, because the flies can bite them, bite their dead body, eat their dead body, and can infect you. So this is the prevention and control. Malaria. Malaria is caused by Plasmodium parasites. The parasites are spread to people through the bites of infected female Anopheles mosquitoes. These Anopheles mosquitoes are called malaria vectors. There are 5 parasite species that cause malaria in human. These species are Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium ovale, and Plasmodium knowlesi. So these are the 5 parasites, that is the causative agent. These 5 are causative agents of the malaria. However, this Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium falciparum, they cause malaria in India. Symptom: malaria is an acute febrile illness. In a non-immune individual, symptoms usually appear in 10 to 15 days after the infective mosquito bite. So malaria is a disease in which fever occurs. The symptoms: fever, headache, chill, and falciparum malaria can progress to severe illness, often leading to death. Children with malaria frequently develop one or more of the following symptoms. What? Severe anemia, respiratory distress in relation to metabolic acidosis, and cerebral malaria. So these are the, along with these symptoms in children, they suffer from additional these type of things. In adults, multi-organ failure is also frequent. Adults may also develop cerebral malaria. In malaria endemic areas, people may develop partial immunity, allowing asymptomatic infection to occur. That is, in malaria prone area, people, they are carrying the malaria parasite inside them, but they do not develop any kind of symptom. So these type of people are called reservoir of diseases. They have a partial immunity against the disease. Prevention and control. Prevention and control malaria can often be avoided by using ABCD approach to the prevention, which stand for awareness. That means you must know what is causing malaria. That is, we already know that is it is a mosquito bite which is causing malaria. So the first step to prevent malaria, to avoid mosquito bite. And this bite prevention, this is the second point. And third one, check whether it is required to take malaria preventive tablet or prophylaxis has to be taken. So if someone is visiting some malaria infested area, in that case, and staying for brief period of time, he or she can take prophylactic doses of anti-malarial drug, but it should be in proper dose and dose must be finished. Diagnosis: malaria must be diagnosed by antigen test kit or by microscopic examination of blood. The treatment, the next thing, if malaria happens, the patient must be treated with anti-malarial drugs like combination of atovaquone and proguanil, quinine sulfate, mefloquine, primaquine phosphate, and chloroquine phosphate. These are the different drugs. More drugs are like Quinhasu and other types of anti-malarial drugs are there. So these are the some commonly used anti-malarial drugs. Filariasis. Filariasis is an infectious topical disease caused by any one of several thread-like parasitic roundworms. These two species of worms most often associated with this disease are Wucheria bancrofti and Bruguiera malayi. So these are the two parasites which cause the disease filaria. So as I told you, this is also an arthropod-borne infection. It is transferred to mosquito. It is an arthropod-borne infection. The larval form of the parasite transmits the disease to human by the bite of a mosquito. The major vector of Wucheria bancrofti are mosquitoes of genus Culex. So in urban and semi-urban area, these Culex mosquitoes are available. Now Anopheles in rural areas of Africa and elsewhere. In India also it is present. And Aedes in island of Pacific Ocean, that is the Aedes mosquito. All these mosquitoes are capable of transmitting parasite of filaria. So in India, mainly Anopheles and Culex mosquito which carry filaria parasite. Sign and symptom. The initially fever, inguinal or axillary lymphadenopathy, testicular and inguinal pain, skin exfoliation, limb or genital swelling, and repeated episodes of inflammation and lymphedema lead to lymphatic damage, chronic swelling, and elephantiasis of legs, arms, scrotum, vulva, breast, etc. So initially fever will be there very initially. At that time, this parasite is in very small size, the microscopic size. Gradually they go to the lymphatic system where they gradually grow. This worm they grow. Once they grow, they cannot be killed or they cannot be removed. In that case, this type of inflammation may occur. Lymphadenopathy. Inflammation can be there in the lymph, in the breast, in the scrotum. These places will be, and exfoliation, that is the scales. The skin scales will come out. This is the, you can see the skin become very scaly. The skin exfoliation may occur. The incubation period, this period is completely variable. It can be as short as 4 weeks and as long as 8 to 16 months. So this disease main problem is that when this disease is detected, it cannot be treated. If it is detected early, then it can be treated. So prevention and control. The best way to prevent lymphatic filariasis is to avoid mosquito bites. The mosquitoes that carry microscopic worms usually bite between hours of dusk to dawn. At night, sleep in air conditioned room or sleep under mosquito. If someone cannot afford air condition, then they can sleep in mosquito net. Between dusk and dawn, so what should be there? Wear long sleeves and trousers and use mosquito repellent on exposed skin. Different Odomos cream available in the market. That thing can be applied in the skin which you cannot cover. Another approach to prevention includes giving entire communities medicine that kills the microscopic worm. So as I told you, the main problem with dealing with this parasite is that when it is small, it can be killed, but when it grows up, then it cannot be killed or controlled. So one procedure is that is giving anti-filariasis medicine to entire community and controlling the mosquito of the area. Now drug is available diethyl carbamazine, DEC, diethyl carbamazine is a drug of choice. The drug kills the microfilaria and some of the adult worms. They are very small adults. Those worms can be killed by the diethyl carbamazine. So this is the drug of choice, and no vaccine is available for this disease. Only way to prevent filariasis is to prevent infection. Otherwise, if the infection occurs, if it is delayed, it cannot be cured. So I thank you for watching.